High frequencies, everyone. Checking in to talk to you about my dream, and of course, if you follow the Gregorian calendar, you're in a new year, of course. Happy New Year to you all. We know the 1st of February is the lunar calendar. Turn it down. It's the lunar calendar new year. Will be in the year of the tiger. So that starts on the 1st. And for a lot of us, the new year starts in the spring. That's when the new year really starts for a lot of people. But we can still, utilize this energy. This is a new moon. So that is new. We're in a new moon energy right now, which is really good. New moon in Capricorn. And I just feel like everything, and this is just what I feel. I'm just going to put it out there. I just feel like everything that you want, everything that you desire will come forth. And a lot of times people say, you have to be in alignment with universe. I feel like that's been minimized. It's almost like you'll get what you want. And then once you get what you want, you'll see if that's what you really wanted or not. But I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to let you have it. Right now, have you ever been somewhere and be like, we're just giving away free stuff, and you be like, okay, you just grab this free stuff, and then you see this stuff I don't even really want. Like, I don't want this. I ain't gonna use this. We're in that energy now that we are going to receive exactly what we want, and we dream just as big and huge as you want, your heart's desires. I've been in an extreme hermit mode. I had to study for a test, passed the test. I got the exact score on the test that I had in my mind before I took the test. And when I finished it and it showed me my score, it was the exact score that I had in my head. So we're in that energy. We can bring forth whatever we want to bring forth. Baby, you can get it. But I do want to tap into my dream. Because it, first of all, is ushering us into this new moon energy, into this 2022 energy. And I feel like it was a message that I haven't quite deciphered what it all kind of means. But it's a lot of symbolism. So the dream started off with me actually, being with younger children, like 3-4-year-old children, kind of like a maybe a preschool teacher or a kindergarten teacher or something, but just making sure the children were okay, and we were having conversations and things of that nature. It's almost like if you've seen Star Wars, and I think it was the Clone Wars. I think it was Clone Wars. But it was a certain part in there where Yoda was actually with the younger children, and they was, looking to see what they could see, and they actually was helping Obi-Wan figure out where this particular planet was. Well, anyway, that's kind of like what it felt like. It felt like I was with these children, but although I was like over them, we were teaching and learning from each other. So anyway, the dream goes from there to I'm at this particular location. Almost feels like a sacred house or space or a building or a temple, not quite sure, but I'm there, and for some reason I'm rushing out. I was talking to some people. It was like I was a part of this kind of coven or group. I was talking to these people, but I got sick. I was starting to feel sick, and I was like, I have to go to the restroom. I have to go to the bathroom. I have to go to the bathroom. So I remember, this is what's wild. I remember rushing going to the restroom. Someone that I knew, male energy, passed me. When he passed, I was able to look in the mirror and to see myself. This doesn't happen a lot. And I looked at myself and saw myself in the mirror. Now, when I looked in the mirror, I had on like a male tunic. I was like a male energy. I had on a male tunic, kind of like with embroidery or something on it. And it was blue. And I get to the restroom. That's what was wild. And I get to the restroom. I'm throwing up. And I'm on the floor and I'm throwing up in one of the stalls. And it ended up not even throwing up in a toilet. It was like something down in the ground, like a bowl or something I was throwing up in. And it was like I was throwing up the cosmos. It was like when I threw up, and it was like dark sky, stars. It was weird. It wasn't, let me stop that. It wasn't like like, you vomit and you sick. It was the vomit. I was sick, but when it came out, it was just like looking into the cosmos, like a dark night sky with a lot of stars, a lot of like comets and just flickering stars and things like that, of that nature. That's what came out. But not just that, when I looked into it in the dream, when I was looking at the vomit in a dream, I just was staring at it, and then a image like Baphomet came through. And when I saw it in my mind, when I saw it in the dream, I said, oh my God, that's Baphomet. Like, how did Baphomet come into my vomit? So initially my thought in the dream was like, I got to get my phone. I got to take a picture. I got to show people this. And when I was about to start doing that, blood just started rushing down at my legs. Now at this point, I have on white. I have on my white. You probably seen me in the videos before. I have on this white cover up, long sleeve white cover up, and it's all white. I had that on. Now I'm having on all white, and blood is just pouring down my legs. And I'm just like, I got to go back out to the class with everybody, and I got blood. And I threw up, so I'm just like, okay. So I'm wrapping up the white. I'm trying to clean it off. I'm trying to clean out. I walk out of the stall. I tell some of the other ladies. Now, again, at this time, I'm a feminine energy. So I'm telling some of the other ladies what had happened. And anyway, I get cleaned up. So it goes from that part of the dream to now I'm back. Like I said, I was at this sacred temple space, a part of this covenant group or something of that nature. I'm at this table and we're in like a class, but this class was for us to get another name, or it's almost like, okay, it was a spiritual class for us to be initiated into having another rank or to have another part to our name. That's the best way I can try to put it. Because what was said, what was interpreted, because I told you certain parts of the dream is interpretation, it's not speaking. What was interpreted is that, I saw these other ladies that was in the class, and they were happy to be a part of the class because they wanted to get their ranking. They were like, they needed that spiritual ranking so people would understand the information that they were giving them, and they would have, they would kind of have that credentials, the kind of extra credentials to help them, I guess, in the eyes of people who are unaware, makes them appear to be extremely credible in the information that they're presenting, right? So it goes into that. So we're in this class for that initiation part. So in this class, everybody wasn't of the same level either. There were people in the class who, a little bit higher ranked, lower ranked, knew more than others, and different things of that nature. But it was needed for all of us to get the same rank because of the work that needed to be done. It was kind of like, okay, we're pushing you through. We're pushing this group of people through so we can get what we need done, actually done. Then the dream goes on to a part where I was recognized by a student that I've had before in a dream. It was like a student, he was like, I know you. He was like, you was my teacher. He said, I know you. And I was like, yeah, I was. And I needed to help them do something. So I ended up jumping from that space into another space. And then everything became a little bit unclear. Because it felt like I was moving from that dimension or realm to another lower dimension. The best way I can explain it. It's like I was in this class receiving a rank, and now, I'm thrown into like almost a regular reality, or it could have been a parallel universe of this one, which that's kind of what it felt like. And the reason why I say this is what was going on in the dream. It was dark outside. It was almost like it was nighttime. And I was leaving this store or this place or something, but I was in my car. I look up on the hill, and there's this huge hill, but it's a huge ice patch. Like, even I was like, even if I try to drive over this ice patch, my car is going to spin. I was like seeing things play itself out. So I was like, okay, I can't do that. So I got out of the car, and it was just like simple, like mundane things that was going on in this reality. And it was like that was centered around this big patch of ice and snow, me trying to maneuver and get up this ice patch and not get into an accident. So I ended up taking myself out of the car, walking up the hill, and I was like, I really can't leave my car there. I'm gonna have to figure out how to get my car up this hill. And I was like, I don't want to get into an accident and all that kind of stuff. So it ended up moving me from the initiation class into this kind of dilemma. And then that's, pretty much all I can remember at this time about the dream. Now, the ending part is relevant based on where I am right now, because we've had a long span of beautiful weather of 70 something degrees. And today, I wake up and there's a sleet snow mix going on outside. So that was one of those things that was, kind of like meshed in with this reality that I didn't even know was going on. And I woke up and I looked outside and I was like, oh my God, there's this ice mixture. So I see where the huge ice patch and the dilemma of driving and all that kind of stuff can occur. The huge part of the dream for me is, one, looking at myself in the mirror, passing someone that I know, looking at myself in the mirror and having a tunic on as a male energy, but going into the restroom and having on the all white and back in the female energy and vomiting the cosmos and seeing Baphomet in the cosmos, and then the blood that was coming out of me uncontrollably. It was like blood, and I had to clean it up. Second part of the dream that I'm pondering as well, that was huge for me, was the initiation class, was coming into another rank, which what I'm really feeling from that is that it's a lot of people right now who may have just, had their spiritual awakening maybe months ago, maybe a couple of months ago, maybe a year ago. You just 2 years or less. You may have just came into this spiritual awakening and you're new. You don't really have a grasp on anything. You're just now learning that all the false teachings you've received all your life is wrong. And even though you're a newbie in this, you're going to be propelled faster because the information is open and available now that people need it. And just because you are awakened, you're going to be quickened with more information and more of someone who may be on this journey 20 and 30 years. You're going to receive that same divine information, the same divine rank. You're going to be able to help those who need it. Like your whole being is being quickened and moving into a higher spiritual rank. That is what I received. So yeah, that's what I received from that part about the dream. I know even like the children could just be young energies. They could be young awakened energies. They could be ancestor energy as well, our DNA that runs through us, that we learn from, that we're also teaching. There's an exchange of right now. When I'm talking about DNA energies, I'm thinking about gene expressions. I'm thinking about, I go real scientific in my mind, but I think about the various codons and the sequences of these codons that end up transcribing to a protein. And to me, all of this DNA, protein, this double helix is all energy, but it's parts of it that can be broken up, just way that it has to be translated and transcribed. Because of that, I'm feeling like those children, I'm saying all of that just to say, I feel like those children were DNA portions, like parts of DNA that's within me. That not only were they teaching me, because we can upgrade ourselves, we can change our DNA, we can upgrade our DNA, we can tap into the entire double helix of our DNA and different portions of it that is relevant for us to come into more information that is needed during this time. And I feel like those children just were young portions of my DNA. I feel like they were pieces of that double helix that in my mind presented itself as a child, but it really was just me coming into, just like you meet someone new, it's almost it's childlike. You don't really know that person. You're asking questions. You're getting to know. I was getting to know myself from the DNA perspective. So that's why we were together asking questions, and kind of like, because I'm the host of this body, there's a soul that's hosting or taking care of this physical being that has the DNA in it. That's why it was a part of me that ended up feeling like, the teacher or watching over these children, when it was just really just a kind of like a give and take relationship. It really wasn't like anybody was higher over anyone or anybody was a teacher and a student. It was like we both were teachers. The child was a teacher. I was a teacher. The child was a student. I was a student. We just flip-flop in between through the whole meshing of the entire experience in the dream. And so I definitely feel like that was DNA double helix. Going into that to say also, I went to sleep last night listening to the DNA frequencies of repairing, healing, and tapping deeper into the DNA. And I feel like that was what was revealed to me, because that was my intention. When I went to sleep, my intention was to have more awareness of my DNA, to heal my DNA, and I played the DNA healing frequency. So, that was the dream state. I've noticed that when I have dreams, when I'm at home, my dreams are way more spiritual, because I'm home in my sacred space that I have created. This energy here helps me to tap into more information that I choose to kind of know, to get acquainted with myself, especially going into this new year. And not to say like when I'm somewhere else it doesn't happen, because it does, but it's just not as in depth. It's not as spiritual, and it's more of just messages and not a spiritual message. So that's my dream. If you all know what vomiting the cosmos means, the blood, seeing myself in the mirror, any of that means to you, then please leave a comment, like, subscribe, or share, and just share your dreams with me. So peace and high frequencies.